Alright, hi guys, welcome to Zipline Aerial Adventure Experience. These are the rules. Now nobody likes rules, I understand that, so I'm going to go through these pretty fast. Once I get done with those, I'm going to get up on the platform in the tree. I'm going to show you what you've got on, how to use it, and a couple of techniques for the course. As soon as I get down, I'll put you up in my position, you show me like I've shown you, and you qualify for the fun stuff, alright? Alright, cool. So you're going to be responsible for yourself. Self-guided aerial adventure experience. Follow the directions. You hurt yourself, somebody else damage equipment. Is that too fast?
It's a little fast.
Awesome. Okay, I'll slow it down a little bit. Everything about the harness and your helmet that you have up there that you've learned already, I want you to forget, okay? Everything about your harness, remember how it feels right now. As you work through the course, it will loosen up. Come back to us. Let us be the one to strap you back down so we know you're comfortable all day. When it comes to the SSB, this red, white, and blue guy can do a great many things. The only thing I don't want to see you do with it is to hang from it and try and Tarzan across something you don't want to do. Now, in the same way, this zip trolley has a very specific function. You notice about 1/4 the size of our lanyard here. So getting it up on an obstacle course is very uncomfortable to get down. So we're only going to use that on a zip line, all right? Now, this is the important one, guys. If you are playing within your limits, that's fine, but I want you to challenge yourself. As you get out there, if you're nervous or scared, even if you just need a hug, buddy, I give great hugs, okay? Guide, guide, guide! That's how I want you to get our attention, okay? Don't think screaming will help you. I'll think you're having fun. In the event that we do have to coach you, whether we're on the ground below you or right next to you on the platform, we'll find a way to keep you moving forward and keep motivated. But in the event you become exhausted or injured, even in the event you could not help me help you, we have a way to lower you down even if you were stuck in the middle of a zip line, but that's a last resort. We're going to save that for the last thing. Now, when it comes to the course and the trees, these guys right here are my friends. Please do not break their arms or take off their clothes. I don't do it to your friends. I ask you, please don't do it to mine. If you have to get you off because of severe weather, I want you to remember the fastest way off the course that you're on will be to get to the end of the course, okay? Now, I do not allow ballerinas or ninjas onto my course. Anybody here a ballerina or a ninja? No, that's awesome. Batman is the only one that looks good hanging upside down, and we've banned him for life, so please do not invert yourself today. If you'd like to pass in front of somebody else, you can do it on the square platforms I've been talking about, but I'll get more into that when I talk about the gear. Just remember, it's okay to let somebody go in front of you, and it's courteous and ask and allow when we're around here. The last one is how many people can be where while we're in the air, alright? On these square platforms, I'd like to see no more than 3 people at a time. The obstacles or the bridges in between, you can have 2 at a time. That's 4 feet at a time, and I encourage you highly to have fun with that. Do I need to explain why only 1 person on the zip line at a time is a good idea? Never have to. Awesome. Take off your little red, white, and blue SSB for me. We're going to learn about this guy real quick. I want you to look at the red side with the white text. On either side of Smart Snap, you're going to notice these 2 little holes, okay? These are keyholes, and with keyholes come keys. Come on over here, guys. Now, this is a very simple 3-step system to work. So when I say these words to you, I want you to know I want to know you know them. So, clip, lock, check. Say them back to me.
Clip, lock, check.
Perfect. As long as you remember those words in that order, you'll always know how this system works. I'm going to find my open door. Happens to be blue. That's so. I told you we have 2 different types of keys to learn today, and this will be our first one. We take a look at it. Let's call this a ring key. It's got a big old ring in the middle. Now, if you hear me reference the word key, this stem right here is what I'm talking about, okay? We have this one, and we have clip, lock, and check already set. So I'm going to find my open door, the blue one still. I will fish hook right in the middle of that ring. That's my clip. I'm going to take that key stem into the keyhole we were talking about. That's my lock. And then I'm going to check my door. Clip, lock, and check. You notice this one's locked. Now the other side is open. Goes back and forth like that all the way through, so you're connected 100% of the time. Now, as I climb up this platform, I like to reiterate, I know I go fast and I know I sound funny, but there's no such thing as a dumb question and no reason to ask me to slow down. Now, this is important, guys. This is a tree key. That's how we're going to remember it today. This will be the very first thing you look for every time you come to a platform. It has 2 very specific functions. The first of which is to give you enough length to get off of one obstacle and reach the other. The other one is when you're out on the main course, this will be at least 2 per platform, and it's what you would use to pass in front of your friends, okay? Now you can see at the end we've got another ring key right here, so we're going to use it in the same way. I'll grab my SSB, find my open door, clip in the middle of that ring just like that, lock that stem, and then check that door just like that. Now my blue side is released and I'm free to move on. Now, the other type of stem key we have is in front of every obstacle, this one right here, okay? It's very easy to miss, but it's the same thing. The only difference is we don't have a ring this time. So instead of that, I'm going to clip right onto the cable. I'm going to turn my SSB over to the side so my keyhole is nice and straight, and I'm going to push up against this stem. That's my lock, and check that door. I can now release my red side for the tree key. Now, as you're going through this course today, if you see no handlebars, I want you to try no hands, all right? Now, if you're crazy like me and you have a fear of heights, don't ask. You can take the lanyard and lean in just like this, okay? Now, a lot of people like to have it out in front of them so they can see what they're holding on to, but this will wear you out faster. In the same way, having your hands up on this cable will not damage you, but it will drain your energy faster than every other obstacle I have combined. Not to mention, going through the course like this can get very boring. You can do that anywhere. And there's very few rules as far as the right and wrong way to do it, and I'll tell you about that over here. Come on over here, guys. I'm going to get to my platform. First thing I look for is my tree key. I'm going to clip in the middle of that ring, lock that door and check it, and I'm going to swing right on over to my 2-line right here. Clip onto that cable, use that line key, lock that door and check it. Now I can release my tree key. Now here's my 2 big rules, okay? I want to see your feet below your head and a smile on your face, all right? If you got that, you can try anything else. Lean into an obstacle like this, give it a shuffle, or balance off of it like a tightrope walker. If you want to walk backwards, that's fine. I don't discriminate, I just show off. If you want an upper body strength challenge, we have those too, and it's okay to try anything because if you slip, you have a harness on. Now, this is a good time to call for a guide, but I want to show you how easy it is to right yourself in the event you really need to. We will be out on our way. You could be lining up against the cable like this. Go ahead and put your elbow in your hand right here, foot up, and take a nice relaxing pose. Drag that foot in, push out with your hand, and you notice I already got both of my feet up. I'm going to push out with a shoulder width stance so I don't lean left or right, and instead of pulling up with my arms, I'm going to pull in with my knees. It's just that easy, guys. Now, this is not required, but it's something for you to try so you don't feel stuck or panic because you don't know what to do. Now, I've taught you one technique. Let me teach you a couple more. I'm going to go over this platform here. Very first thing, I'll look for my tree key. Flip right in the middle of that ring. Lock that door and check. I'm going to swing right on over to my belay bridge right here. I'm going to clip onto the line. Use that line key to lock the door, check it, and release. These things are designed to be manipulated to your advantage. You notice I will always step where brace points are. Or I will come by and push cable out to tighten everything up. Maybe you want to put your feet where you don't think it belongs. It might balance you better. Or you can take a rest on the obstacle while you're thinking. The best bit of advice I can give you, and I know this is going to sound silly, the longer you stay still on the obstacle you don't like, the longer you will be there. Now, I know that sounds funny, but the more you move, the more fun you will have. Just keep that in mind as you go through today, and we are always here to help. Now, who remembers my magic 3 words when it comes to my SSB?
Clip, lock, check.
That's team captain right there. I love it. Clip, lock, and check. And you're always going to know what to do with this guy. So let's talk about the other piece of equipment we have here. You've already learned that the orange and black door needs to be pushed down to go in. So I'm going to teach you what the 2 horns on the top are for. And right below that door, there's a nice rubber piece. We're going to use that as well. Every zip line is easy to define. It's a thicker gauge cable. There's nothing hanging from it. And 2 yellow signs right in the front. You can't see them, so let's talk about them real quick. It says zip line, attached trolley, do not proceed until line is clear. Now you notice this is still on my tree key. There's a good reason why, and I'll show you here in a minute. But first, let's attach our trolley. I'm going to open that up, whether it's facing this way or the reverse. As long as those 2 horns are on the top pointing upward, you're going to have a comfortable ride. So if you happen to see something like this, don't worry. All you got to do is pull down on it. It'll right itself just like that. The second sign says don't proceed until it's clear. So that is the main reason we want to make sure that this is not on the line yet. If there happened to be somebody down there and I slipped, this will make sure I don't play bumper cars with my friends today, okay? So I'll look down there, and if I see somebody, I'll say, line clear! And I'm not going to make a move until I hear that back. Now, in the event I do hear it back, that's fine, but I'm not going to go anywhere, so it's not a warning. It's not, here I come, it's, is it okay? All right? Communication is very important. Once I've got that line back, I will clip, lock, and check just like before, and we're going to have this guy ride down the back horn for us. I'm going to lift it straight up, and it'll latch on just like that. Now, it's not locked in. It's more for the safety of the product and use, so if it comes off, there's no reason to panic. Everybody has their glove today, right? Awesome. If you take a look right in the palm area, you're going to see a lot of blue double padding. That is what I want you to use for your brake. But to start out, I want it right on top of that trolley. Give them a ticket to the gun show and flex for them just like that, okay? If you do want to brake, you take your hand, keep it wide open, tap it, slap it, beat it like Michael Jackson on the way down and dance, but do not grab on. The overextension of your shoulder can really hurt. And by far, you don't want to put your hand in front of the trolley. This is a bad day waiting to happen, people. You don't want that either. Now, as far as steering, I told you about this little rubber piece right here. I like to take the center of my palm and grip onto the metal underneath the orange and black door in a firm fashion so that when I turn my wrist back and forth like this, it'll actually spin my body back and forth like that. See? With that in mind, everything else is up to the harness. I sit down nice and comfy, and have you ever seen the movie Frozen? Just let it go. Just like that. Now, if you happen to get stuck in the middle of a line today, it's absolutely fine for whatever reason. You can see I have a lot of maneuverability. We love any reason to come out on the lines, but I also want you to know there's never a reason to panic and you're never going to get stuck, okay? Let me show you how to take this stuff off. All right. Red, white, and blue SSB will come off the back of the horn, and this trolley will come off just as easy as it came on. Now, if you're not a fan of big hunks of metal hitting you in the knee all day, you want to put it right back on the center of your chest, all right? And this guy, despite being called the smart one, doesn't know we're done yet. So with any red, white, and blue, we need a little bit of freedom. Here's your freedom pin today. You're going to find the side that is locked, put that pin in on the other side, and it'll release you from the lines. Now, that's a lot of words. I don't expect you to remember them all. So here's 9 words to remember everything you need to know. This guy right here, clip, lock, and check, is how it always works. If you need anything from us, guide will get us out to you in an instant. And the only other piece of gear you have is this trolley. And if you remember trolley on first, every zip line will be nice and comfy.